7-star citizens, and welcome back to Answer the Call, your weekly call-in show. You gonna interrupt me now, Mike, as well? Maybe I won't be here anymore. This is cracked. Welcome back, guys. I am here again. Another week hiatus, unfortunately. But I'm back, and this is Answer the Call, your weekly call-in show and Star Citizen podcast, where we talk about everything that happened in the week, any particularly big topics that are on our mind at the moment, and we get you guys to call in and weigh in on all those things. How you doing this week, Mike?
Good. Also, when don't I interrupt?
Yeah, true.
That's pretty bad. It's like one of my worst qualities.
At least you have the excuse of the time delay, right?
But there is none.
Like, for interrupting me. There's so much delay.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, there is a ton of delay.
All right.
I mean, no, there's not. Why do you keep interrupting me? That's messed up.
Oh, my bad.
That's messed up.
We are very far from each other.
Yeah. Almost literal polar opposites of the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, some stuff happened this week. We had a big SCL. 4.3. Well, 4.3 came out like on last weekend, just before the podcast, pretty much, right? So 4.3 has been happening. And we finally had the tech preview 2 weeks after they initially tried it, I think. Yeah, roughly 2 weeks. So
yeah.
But how you doing?
I'm good. I tried to play what I called like an Iron Man account, and I quickly found that contested zone elevators are a disaster. That the actual executive hangar doesn't work, and like, so you can't even get ships from it, and you could not get ace helmets or the pristine metals very easily without alt F4ing, I believe potentially 9 times during a mission. Jeez. That's the maximum, or minimum 2 times, 3 times, something like that, in order to be able to see the markers. Now, we did get a hot fix that fixed that marker issue with the patrol missions. So if you were like looking for ace helmets or pristine metals or script, there was a pain in the butt to be able to do that. So I'm glad they got that one fixed. But freight elevator still broken both at outposts and CZs and everywhere after all the fixes, which I think was expected. Didn't anyone expect them to just work perfectly? No, but not great. And then also, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but AI are spawning like mad crazy. Like if you go do a bunker mission, there's like 500 security guards there to help you, stuff like that. So it's just, there's a lot of issues with 4.3, and I don't know what to say anymore, man. Like we have to get it out by this day, and then the experience is just horrible for everybody. And the whole point of this year was to not do that.
Yeah, it's one of those. Someone tell me if I'm using this phrase correctly, because I just want to use the phrase. It's a false dichotomy of.
I have no idea.
Like they wanted to make sure that they're releasing patches fast enough to like fix things, but they keep putting a bunch of stuff in the patches that are breaking things.
Yep.
And so you're like, it's a clash, right? It ends up working against each other.
This year was not supposed to add tech debt, and I feel like with all of the content that they've added that they have to maintain, obviously CZ's, Lazarus, Wicklow, the asteroid based content, the Hathor, which Hathor works very well. Got pure Karenite for the first time this week. That's something that happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hathor since after its initial patch has been pretty solid in my experience.
Yeah, Hathor was pretty cool. And again, pure Karenite. So if you guys remember, if you guys are looking for pure Karenite, ping, and it'll say Karenite pure or something like that. But also, it'll look different in the sense of the normal Karenite will have like a little bit of red in it, but the pure Karenite will have a lot of red in it. And it's also a deeper red color as well. Yeah. So, yeah, pretty cool.
I will say on the 4.3 still broken, for me so far, I've done a bunch of ASD this week. because that was the big thing, obviously, with the new patch.
Yeah, I did a little
I have had no problems with ASD.
Well, there's nothing.
It's been so smooth for me.
I had one problem where a marker didn't show up. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still not great, but like that's as
it's
the history of Star Citizen problems go.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. You could abandon the mission, you get it right back. It's not like you lost all your progress. And I just did it again, and it was totally fine. I was actually kind of disappointed about the amount of story in the mission so far. Like, I guess spoiler alert here for a second. We find very little out through these 6 missions.
I was gonna say that. So the first 2 missions feel if you include the tutorial, the first 3, I guess. Yeah. Feel like okay, because like there's that little bit of audio at the end that does give you like a little bit of like, ooh, there's something happening, what's going on? Yeah. But yeah, you don't learn anything after that. It's just go to place, grab thing, give to the guy, and then he just says, you've gotten us some information. We'll have people look through this.
But he doesn't really tell you what they find, and it's just kind of like it was just like lacking. And if the last puzzle was, it made you think a little bit. It was like, but like a very little bit. It's like, all right, I got to go take this thing and bring it to the power core. That's probably where they want me to bring it. But then they put a marker right where you need to go when you get there. So it's like, I didn't have to think that much. And I mean, again, spoiler alert now. I mean, the only thing we really find out is that Dr. Yorit wasn't just doing experiments on Valakar and dogs and stuff. He's doing something on humans.
Yeah.
So maybe he's the reason for the resource or the regen crisis or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of what we're finding out.
It's this weird. It just felt weird that it did start off with like feeding you the lore, and then it kind of just left it out. Which, like, in some aspects is cool if there's enough obvious things for us to learn, just us going through by ourselves. But while the set dressing is insanely cool and there's a lot of cool aspects to it, it doesn't tell you a lot. Like, it doesn't give you a lot of information about why X, Y, Z is happening.
Yep.
Now, yes, of course. First off, I just saw a couple of people. It's not rumors of a third wing. They explicitly said there is a third wing.
Yeah. We're going to get more out of this. Yeah. But we got to wait a month. A lot of that could
come from there. Exactly, yeah.
And
and not only that, we have to wait a month where we already have this really, really like in-depth location that in a very Star Citizen fashion, as cool as it is, already starts to feel empty.
Yep. And not only that, but they're like, if you want the ASD armor, which a lot of people are grinding for, I love grinding. I have seen no purpose of grinding for this thing at all because it doesn't give you any advantage. It actually gives you disadvantages based on most of the armor that you normally wear, and it just looks cool, right? So if you're going for fashion, Citizen, go for it, man. I'm not judging you, but for me personally, I don't feel the need to go in there too much. I did my 6 missions. I'm never going there again, unless I literally have nothing to do and I'm just gonna grind for it. But I mean, today I just grinded for number 5 keys at Ruin Station. So there's plenty to do, and I don't want to kill the location for myself because I know there's more story coming. The story has to get more interesting than the little information that we know so far. And come on, they're putting human juice into a Vanduul blade. Like, there's some cool shit that's going to happen, and we just want to find out the information of what that is. And I don't want to spoil that location because level design-wise, it is awesome. We know there's some cool puzzles based on the PTUs. Those puzzles are obviously turned off now, and I don't want to kill it for myself. I'm excited for the future on it, and so I'm not really going to them.
Yeah, my thing is it's less to do, like, because I'm also seeing a lot of people saying, well, just wait till third wing. My problem is not that there will be more like lore and more story of this being revealed. It's that it's got this weird, it's got a weird story structure right now where, like I said, it kind of does feed you a little bit of story at the start. And then when you get into the more interesting locations, it gives you nothing.
Yeah.
It's you get to the big weird human slurping Vanduul ship, and the guy just says, you've got some data. Very interesting.
It's like
bro, I just told you about this Vanduul that's eating people. Come on, like, give me something.
Yeah, like, what are we doing? And it just oozes or smells like we rushed this thing out and it wasn't ready.
Mhm.
And I think personally I would have been okay with a 4.2.2 fix, just straight bug fixing, don't add anything else, and hold this for a month.
Yeah.
Because they did the right thing we're going to get this out there. It's going to be simplistic. We're going to add the more complex stuff later because it wasn't ready, and we're going to slowly release the story to you because of the issues that you had with Resource Drive, because of all the problems that we created. That's what they're outwardly communicating. It's up to you whether you believe them or not. I don't, because they've given me no reason to believe them yet. It is a good initiative. It is the right idea. But their execution the entire year has been largely horrible on this initiative. So we'll have to see what happens here. But it's like, it's weird. They're doing the right thing, but it also doesn't feel like the right thing. And yeah.
Yeah. I do want to mention the worst take I've seen about these patches this week, which was they should just push the all the monthly patches to the end of the month so they get more progress on it. The problem with that is if they do that, they're still releasing a patch a month. It's still one patch per 30 days. Nothing. You get one patch that's like a little more cooked, and then it's the same problem. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, and like on SCL, we got the answer.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about it, but they were getting the wolf out in August. That's what we're getting the wolf out in August. And it was like, oh, so it was the wolf. But it was weird. They sold the wolf before releasing the patch. It's such a weird situation because the wolf was being sold and it looked like it was selling really well because people seemed to love it. And then they released the patch, and the patch was completely like, again, I hate to kind of shit on the QA side of things because who knows whose fault this is. We don't work there. But it's like, dude, you released a patch and players couldn't refuel, rearm, or repair. What? How does that happen?
I don't think that's how I read what they said. The way that I read what they said is that their top priority is a patch a month.
Yeah.
Their second priority is a ship per patch.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
that's fair.
There was that, and then it's like, all right, well, we'll release Onyx.
Well, that's why
relatively cooked, but just like leaving out some stuff, right?
That's why I bring up like the ship was already being sold and it was selling well, is because like it was already doing fine. There was no need for you to push this patch out. And like you said, it's the top priority to push it out. But like, what do you gain? Yeah. What are you gaining here? Except for just pissing us off even more. Right. But again, all I see is like, I live in a world where, I, again, typically see the negative in things. But I just constantly see like just insanely toxic positivity around something like that just wasn't that cool. Like the location's cool. Level design, cool. But like we don't do anything there. So like, is it really that cool? Like, did we need to push this out? Or did we need to like let it cook a little bit longer? They keep talking about how they don't need to no dates. No, we don't have to do any of that stuff. We don't have to release. But then they made this own initiative for themselves to be a dumb publisher causing problems.
Well,
weird.
To be toxically positive about it. I did think it was one of the coolest things I'd ever done in the game.
So did I.
But then I was like, I will grind it because I think it's still fun. I like the FPS aspects. I like, grinding for the rifles and stuff are very cool. The snipers.
Okay.
But that experience, the enjoyment of that experience craters after that 6 missions.
Yes.
And so it's very similar to me to the irradiated Valakar. Whereas like the first time you did it, it was so damn cool and it was very awesome. But because there's no other content like that, and there's no like, it doesn't change. It's the same experience every time. The enjoyment craters. And so it's like, all right, cool. Well, I'll still grind it for X, Y, Z, but the enjoyment's not going to be anywhere near there again until some new content comes out.
Yeah, like I accept the mission to go there, and then I abandon the mission and just loot the stuff. If I go, right? So I just don't get the need to have rushed. Like you're saying, it was one of the coolest things, but that's where my frustration comes from. Is you had the opportunity here to deliver the puzzle part, right? Or the cooperative zone aspect of it, which if you guys played the PTU and caught like what they're going for here, there's like timed things that a single person can't possibly do. And it's like you need to work with other people. And then you have this lobby that you can meet other people. You know, there's just tons of opportunity here for really cool stuff. And they cut it all because they wanted to get a patch out in August. And it's like, but you didn't have to. You didn't have to. And
there is something to be said.
It's weird.
And I feel like it needs to be brought up of like, let's say they had done this with Hathor the first time, where like Hathor had been released. The mining wasn't a part of it, like right off the bat, right?
It was only get the battery.
Yeah, it was only get the battery and like kill some people missions or something, right? Which ended up getting released, I think, the following patch. It's likely Hathor would have been more polished on initial release if they did that.
For sure. Because the biggest problem was getting the battery, to be honest, but yeah.
Exactly. So like there is a world where like it is actually a positive for the health of the content. But I don't know. It's hard to tell because this is
I will always argue something to the death until somebody comes with a better argument. That is a better argument. That is a better argument for doing it this way. So the experience isn't that good. Who gives a shit? Is if the experience when the full thing releases is perfect or close to it, then this is the right way to do it.
That's a reason to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
But the thing is, that is heavily dependent on it working next month.
Exactly.
When it comes out, so we'll see.
Hathor works now.
Exactly. Yeah.
CZs still don't. So like we're still in that place where CIG is just really bad at this, and it would be great if they weren't. But all right. What do you want to chat about next? Do you want me to just quick, because it's very quick on tech preview? Do you want me to just kill that?
Yeah, do it. Tell me everything about tech preview. I know that, so this is the one that they wanted to do 2 weeks ago, kept getting pushed back.
Yep.
It was supposed to be mostly about Vulkan and something else.
Vulkan and AI improvements.
Yeah,
AI improvements. So, AI, FPS AI, like it's like perception and stuff. So at first, and I did record SCL, I recorded Weekend Review before jumping in game today. Very quickly though, before we go tech preview, there is a mining change in 4.3 that I found out about last night.
I thought you were about to get me mad and remind me about Ship Showdown.
No, I'm going to get you very happy. You ready for this?
Yeah, tell me. I saw your stream title before we started. Yeah.
Refinery Change. If, let's say you have 6 different mineral types in your bags of your prospector. I did this by just storing the prospector and refining directly from it, not refining from bags. But I think it would apply either way. And I had Quantanium. And I wanted to get the Quantanium very quickly. So I choose the fastest, most expensive option, let's say, to get Quantanium. Boom. Yeah. If I just do Quantanium, what happens to the rest of the ore normally?
Gets trashed.
Gets trashed. Disappeared. Yeah. Guess what happens now? It doesn't.
It gets stored and you keep it?
Yeah, so it'll do one refinery job, and then you just click the drop down to your ship, and there's everything else is listed other than the thing it just extracts the ore.
Let's go. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
So it's very cool. It's awesome. Yeah.
Can you still do, I imagine you can still do like one refinery job for all 5 ores that you've got in there?
Yes. Yeah, like I think Tumblrino and Twitch chat saying refinement per material. No. It's your choice. It's per job, whatever you want to do and how it's done. I did it one individually, but yeah, it's
because
I've seen videos of people doing 2 at a time.
Yeah, that leads the way for them to make refinery options like a lot more customizable and more interesting too.
Yep.
Right? Like
it won't just
one
be
that just gives you % quant at whatever and have one that does whatever. So that's great. Huge fan.
Yep. Somebody in my Twitch chat brought something up like that too. It makes no sense to do this, but they were like, hey, so you can like bring your quant to the best quant bonus place, refine that there, leave and go to another facility and refine at the best Bexlite place your Bexlite. And it's like, you're traveling so far for so little.
Yeah. You would need an actual reason to do that. But that option is there now.
Yeah, I mean, technically, if you had like 30 bags filled, yeah, maybe. But
actually, no, yeah, fair. Like if you had, well, no, because you'd be able to do it this way anyway. I was gonna say, like, if you had an Idris full of bags, but you would just be putting it in your inventory anyway.
Yeah. Well, and then Marty in your chat says you could also sell the raw stuff if you don't want to refine and get something for it. Well, guess what?
That's relevant.
Hold on, it's super relevant because the only way to remove inert material from your bag is to you got to get rid of it that way.
So it doesn't auto trash inert.
No. So they gotta do something with that. But yeah,
that seems like a miss site.
Yeah. So you just got to sell the inert, and it sells. I got 46 credits for my inert, but
Sweet.
it's so that just a cool thing of quality of life change that doesn't really affect you that much right now, but has, like Croncy mentioned, tons of options in the future that they can do with refinery jobs or just like I don't know, maybe the choices you make when base building would be bonuses
I was gonna say,
certain refineries.
Big implications for crafting, right? Because we're supposed to be getting grades of materials, right? Yep. So you'd want to be able to do that sort of thing. Maybe you do want to take your grade A material to a different place than you're taking your regular copper.
Yep. So cool. It's a cool little thing, sneaky. Just to give credit, I think the video that I saw that was linked to me when we were discussing this, because somebody was like, how do I get rid of inert? And I was like, what? Just refine.
Yeah.
And they were like, I can't. Like, wait, what? And then I was linked a video of from Noobs Gaming, and SC Haulers did one as well on YouTube. So if you guys want to watch those videos, shout out to them. That's where I first saw the information. So this isn't coming directly from me. But
was that wasn't in live, right? That was in the Evo?
It's in live.
Oh, it's in live. Okay. Shit.
Yeah,
cool.
It's in live.
Sick.
Yep.
That is very sneaky.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Okay. So tech preview. You would have never had the time to mine. So you wouldn't know. Incredibly crashy in terms of server error crashes. I got there half an hour late. I was at the grocery store with my wife. And at that point, the servers were locked. You couldn't even get in them. And then they reset them. So I got in. And again, it is a Vulkan where you should see some improvements. And again, I did not notice the improvements at the time. But to be fair, I was on a 100-player shard. So across all of Pyro, all of Stanton, 100 people. 12 on my server. I was getting between 20 and 70 FPS at checkmate. So it was all over the place. It wasn't very consistent. But going to Ruin today on live, I had these consistent micro stutters, like constantly. And I didn't recognize those on the tech preview. So that could be the improvements that were there. But again, I was on a very small server, so it's hard to say. On the AI side, the only AI that I saw in the contested zone, because they were like, oh, go to a bunker and fight AI. And I was like, I'm not going to a bunker if it's server erroring over and over again. I'm going to spawn where there's AI to fight. So I spawned at a contested zone.
Get back into the fight as fast as possible.
Exactly. The AI were kind of like appearing. Like I wasn't seeing them appear, but I would turn around and they would just be there. Like, how did you get here? I didn't hear you. I didn't hear footsteps. Nothing. They were just there. They didn't shoot at me directly, but again, constant server errors, so it's hard to tell. Like, did some assumption like wake up yet, or what? But like, I had an experience where 2 AI and 2 dogs were walking into a corner, and I'm at the red door at Checkmate, guys. Like, I've made plenty of noise. I've shot a gun. Like, they should know I'm there, right? They're literally searching for me. They're like voice lines searching for me. They're just walking into a corner. And I knock one of them out. And one of the guys immediately goes, "We got a man down." And I'm like,
oh, okay.
So something happened, but they couldn't react to it. So I would say it's like a major fail on the AI tech side. I had it, again, I was on a 100 player shard, 12 people on the server, 25 plus server frame rate.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only other thing of note is helmets were physicalized. So when you pulled them off, there was the actual helmet in your hand. And there was some claim that there was like FPS radar in. There was not. You just saw the emissions at the top of your helmet again, and they were like slightly updated. And that's it. So the system needs work.
There was a claim from someone in my community.
Yeah, they might have had a different experience.
No, this is a different thing.
Okay.
That in Evo, if you went to the bottom of, I think it's research, the vertical one. That's research, right?
More ASD stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If you went through enough waves, some people would spawn with a full set of ASD gear. Now this is a claim, has not been confirmed, but that may be a thing.
Druval in my chat also says there was a bunch of new like audio options for like audio files as well in the options menu, but yeah, there was no way to FPS radar ping or anything like that. So it was a test that is not very interesting to discuss to players who are, what's coming in the next patch, or how did the game play. It was definitely a data gathering experience for them, and I hope they got enough data, but it was super crashy. They probably did not. They'll probably do another one. I totally understand why there was an NDA on this one, and there absolutely should have been, because lots of people were like, "Oh, the game's cooked," or making just silly fucking comments like that. And it's like, no, that's not the case. It is, they're utilizing a small set of people with a bunch of different computers, seeing if they get client crashes, seeing what other crashes show up, and using that to make it so when you guys get it in PTU, it's not shit. Right? And and
this also, I assume, explains why it was delayed for 2 weeks, because it just has a lot of problems, it sounds like.
Yep. Yeah. And it's understandable because it's a actual tech preview. Right?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
And that's really all I have on it. Nothing crazy. Just it's sort of unfortunate. I hope there was a little bit more, but yeah. Yep. You watched SCL though, right? So
Yes, I did.
What are some of your highlights?
So essentially a big ship talk, kind of like the ones that we get like around CitizenCon, honestly, but just all question based, right? So we had a lot of talk about skins, like so much talk about skins. About half the questions were in relation to that, which is fine. They're an important thing. People really like them. And then the other half was like actual meat and potatoes, good stuff. So the first thing I want to bring up is a great news, which is, and there will be a caveat at the end of this, but no more concept sales. Let's go.
Not entirely true.
For the battle cruiser. Yeah. Something eventually. But yeah, no more concept sales. At the very least, they said, they won't be able to even if they could, they wouldn't fit one in for this year. So everything's straight to flyable, which has been the experience so far this year, and like the end of last year, essentially the same. So huge fan of that. Marketing absolutely seeding.
Yeah, it's good. It lowers their backlog. Like a lot of the questions were about the backlog as well, and that's just, that is the right answer to answer those questions. Is like, guys, we didn't add to the backlog, really. We didn't get the backlog done as fast as you want, maybe, but we didn't add to it, and that's a good thing. I think,
and they're still actively working on the backlog too. Like it's not like no concepts, no backlog. It is we are doing both, and they have been doing both.
Yep. Yeah.
For like the last little while. So
exactly. I think one of the highlights for me was that they just came out and said, guys, new ships sell better, so that's why we sell them. And they just like didn't hide from their shamelessness at all. And it's like we don't do the backlog as much as you want because this is how we fund the game. And their honesty is refreshing, but it doesn't change the fact that like because they talked about paints as well. They made no effort to fix a paint system from the beginning when you had less ships, and it would have cost you less problems, and it would have been able to transition away from as many ship sales and more cosmetic sales, and same with the armors, and they just didn't do any of it. So they took the quote unquote easy route out and continued to draw spaceships or make spaceships, and it highlights the problems more than anything for me of you have to fix this. You have to fix this. I mean, I don't know if you watch Luke Stevens at all, but like he had like a 6-minute short of where he was talking about how like the regular gaming community will not stand for $500 spaceships, dude. Like they just won't do it. So you're either gonna
like I get what he's saying. Yeah, they will. The only problem is Star Citizen is not a good enough game that people will do it. You know what I mean? Like the games where people are spending that much money is because they've either been ingrained in those games for such a period of time that it is their hobby. That one game is their one hobby, or the game is good enough that they can do it. Star Citizen is far too buggy, and will spend far too long in development hell that people won't spend that for a very long time.
Yeah, like people are putting out gacha games and CS:GO skins and stuff like that, but like guys, don't you mostly see whales doing so? Like again, do you want a game built on whales that are spending lots and lots of money, or do you want a situation where it's more like one of the more popular games out there like League, where it's like $20-$30 microtransactions at the most on skins? I guess there was like some really expensive skins for League, but like,
well, that's a good one to bring up because they did the
$100 skin or something.
The faker $500 skin last year,
I thought
which
it was
is extra
100.
funny because no, the most expensive one was like $500.
Holy
it might
shit,
be like 500
okay.
Australian, so like $300 or something. But extra funny because Faker does not use skins. Like he is known for just running the bare,
hell yeah,
no skins.
But he's getting paid for this one.
About him that was hella expensive. Yeah, he gets money for it too, which is extra funny.
Yeah.
But there was a big pushback against that when that happened, from the League community. So
yeah, so just that's I don't know. I still don't think the average gamer, because like Star Citizen needs and Squadron 42 needs more of regular gamers, the ones that may potentially complain about their $70 games that have been $70 for like 47 years, going up to 80 or 100, when everything is more expensive around you, and they're still complaining about it. So it's like, it's not like the expensive of these studios just have stayed the same the whole time either, right? So, exactly. I just don't see it. So we'll see, but. That was the thing that stuck out to me, was like, thank you for your honesty. Like, number one, you're not hiding your shamelessness anymore, which is good. But I wish you were less shameless. I don't know. I love how you're presenting it, but you could also not do those things. Would be cool as well. That would be also cool. Like if you focused on doing more cosmetic stuff that had a less of an effect on the actual video game itself, and still sold really well. So.
So that's the thing. Back to the battle cruiser thing. When they were like, no more concept sales, I was like, fantastic. Yep. I am like more or less okay with ships, with straight to flyable ships and all these sort of things, especially because recently, at least the last 2 years, they've been relatively good about getting those ships in game pretty quickly, within a patch or two. And then they said the thing about the battle cruiser. And I was like,
what the fuck is a battle cruiser? I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, so apparently it's on the original Kickstarter.
Yep.
My assumption is that they're talking about like the Retribution. because I was like, surely they're not talking about the Bengal, because that
Nah.
is very explicitly a carrier, and they always call it a carrier.
Yeah.
So like, I imagine they're talking about the Retribution, which like, if you make that, like the Retribution is supposed to be like a 5-kilometer long ship or something.
Also,
not the Retribution.
Also, isn't Battlecruiser the name of that Derek Smart game?
I do not know.
Which that is hilarious. I know who Derek Smart is,
but only by reputation.
That is hilarious if it is, because that's like a total meme on him, if that's the case. It is? That's so funny, because they're literally memeing on that guy then by making the ship. And then they're going to sell it for $3,000, I hope, because it's called Battlecruiser 3000 AD.
If it's smaller than a Bengal, okay, I'm more okay with it, but I still don't like it. Like, I don't like that the Javelin's available for sale, right? Like, that's a big problem I have with the like the really high-end capitals. I just feel like should never ever be available for real money.
Yeah.
So it's a little annoying, but the overall sentiment of like, yeah, here are just all straight to flyable. This year is all straight to flyable. Awesome, cool, sweet.
Yep. Yeah. It was a 17 million stretch goal, so it was really early. I think I came in to Star Citizen around 30 mil, something like that. So that's probably why I never knew that it existed. Or I just forgot.
Let me have a look at the exact wording on it. Oh, it just says, okay, it just says Star Citizen will feature an additional flying ship class, the Battlecruiser.
That's the whole class, so there'll be more than one ship maybe, but at some point, who knows? But yeah, so whatever. The highlights, though, for me personally were, did you hear I'll say Polaris because it's the first thing that came to mind. The Polaris, like, refueling, rearming, and stuff. Like, you can refuel a small ship inside of Polaris. That is so cool because
it's actively
so
being
simple.
worked on as well. Like, they said it's, like, within the... I don't remember the exact
It won't be
phrase.
this year, I don't
like,
think.
within the year.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know about
year,
that.
But like within a year.
Oh, like within 12 months. Yeah.
Like within everything from here within 12 months. Yeah, also.
Did he say or so? He didn't.
Nah, unfortunately. He didn't
so we're good. Then we're good.
But it's being worked on, at least, right? Yeah. So they said specifically like any ship that has like a hangar at the moment. So yeah, like the Polaris, the Idris, and so on. They are working on the ability for to refuel, rearm, repair. With the cargo that you've got there, which awesome. Hell yeah. That's going to be dope. I think the specific reason that he mentioned it is because apparently there is some bit of content in the next year that requires this.
Yes.
Was what Jared said. So,
which the negative brainwaves that I have can't stop but thinking they're going to do another year like this. And this is only negative from a content creator perspective, I think. I think this year's been fantastic for people who want to play the game. I have played the game more than I have ever, so please don't take this the wrong way. But I don't think from a content creator standpoint, I can handle another year like this. It is so boring.
Well, it depends on how that feature plays and how that content plays.
If the feature and content is base building, crafting, economy related, then it's a totally different story for me. But if it's another year like this where we tell some dumb fucking story about something that only happens to NPCs, like just kill me now, because I don't want to do another year like that.
My pie in the sky hope of like what that content will be that requires this is you would assume it's like NPC ship doing this, right? Because otherwise it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Sure.
Is us like doing a bunch of missions on an Idris, on an NPC controlled Idris. That's what I'm dreaming for.
Yeah, could be. That'd be sick. I just keep thinking of, like they said, if the commodities were on your ship. So I just keep thinking Polaris because the cargo bay is below and the hangar bay is above. So it's just like perfectly set up that way. But then the Idris is perfect as well because the cargo's on the sides and the hangar bay is in the middle. I mean, that just opens up for players so many cool things. Think, oh man, I was doing a mining op. I blew up my bags and I blew off my 60,000 credit. What are the Focus 3s, right? And you just go to the ship, little RMC, right back on, right? And repair them up and refuel them and stuff. So I think that's kind of cool. And yeah, I don't know. I love that idea. I'm trying to think of what other exciting things happened, but that was like the main one for me.
there was one little tidbit that was interesting that I didn't expect, which is they talked a lot about engineering in this one as well.
Yeah, but
one of the parts they talked about was that essentially, whether it happens or not will be a different case, but they want armor to come in with engineering. And when they described armor in it, they mean specifically like the damage thresholds. So,
yep.
Like right now, if you punch a ship enough, I don't know how many is enough, probably 1 billion times or something though, it will explode. And they want
the door will open.
Happen. Yeah, or the door will open.
Right? The question was based around like stealing ships, and it's too easy to just, one mag and you're in the ship, and it's like they didn't like that.
Yeah. But that's the thing. So that was the question. They expanded it to be about armor. They said they do want certain weapons to not be able to, impact certain armors and whatnot, and they want that to come with engineering.
Yep.
All the talk about engineering recently has been like there will be a tech preview soon, so I'll see you guys next year. But that's the thing, right? Like that's the only feature really that they've still been actively working on this year, at least from a public perspective.
So Austria from your chat is saying the threshold thing will be in Maelstrom. No, it will not. It will also be with the armor. They stated that. They said Maelstrom, it will just work out of the box. They're going to fake it, I think, with the armor thing. So it'll still be like a fake system.
Their specific wording was like in Squadron, it currently just Maelstrom just does it.
Yeah.
But then they said that they want like armor to come in with engineering. They did not mention Maelstrom with like that regard to Star Citizen.
Yep. And again, the only concern I have here is I do want ships still to be stolen. So I hope when they introduce this that there's the ability to do that. Think about just situations, not even somebody stealing your ship and trying to be a dick, but more of the like people leave ships around all the time because there's no consequences for doing that. So being able to board them, take stuff out, or remove the ship entirely, salvage it. Those should be options.
I mean, just make the cutter multi-tool work properly, right?
Sure.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I guess, but that's still such an easy thing that Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. Other engineering thing, I find this to be incredibly interesting. I had to bring up my list of stuff to remind me of, because this was a very information-filled SCL.
Yeah.
Shields.
Questions.
Did you hear the shield thing where it's like some ships have 6 shields, some ships have 2 shields, and they kind of go into what their thoughts are with that, because they started making those changes more recently. Those shields are not 6 shields powering your shields. You're only ever going to have 2 shields on at one time. You're never going to have more than 2. Yeah. And when one goes down, the next one will come up. What does that mean, though? We've both played Eve, so this is kind of... It can go 2 ways. It can go Eve, or it can go how they were making it sound, which is what do they mean by shield goes down? That's my question here. Does it mean shield, the physical shield, gets damaged so much it turns off? That's probably what they mean here, because it was in the engineering discussion. Or is it the shield around the ship takes so much damage it goes down to 0, and the next one comes in and replaces it, almost like a what are they called, like the active repairing of shields. There's a component in EVE Online, but I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. And basically
cap boosters. Not cap boosters, the other one,
shield booster.
Like shield boosters.
Shield booster, I guess. So how that'll work, guys, in EVE Online is you shoot someone's shield, and it doesn't matter, if it's 50% or 90% or whatever, the shield booster will boost this much more health every 5 seconds, let's say. I wonder if that one will, like, all right, you knock the shield down and it just goes, pops right back up, and you're like, all right, I got one shield down. And I don't know. Like, for the reason I'm bringing it up is in EVE Online, there's this very interesting dynamic between shield tank ships, armor tank ships, and hull tank ships. And like, you can get more health out of having 6 shields, technically, or you can get more health out of having more armor, or you can get more health out of having just a ton of hull strength. And there's that interesting dynamic between, like knowing that information and how those fights work. And I'm just starting to PvP more in EVE, so I'm learning all this. And yeah, it is very interesting. So I assume it's not that. I assume it's your shield is destroyed in engineering and you can't get it back, so it is replaced by the next one. And once those shields are gone, your shields are gone. So that's the advantage of those. So yeah, I think that's what it is.
But my big takeaway from that section that they were talking about was really just in regards to balancing, which is like obviously, like the engineering gameplay is so heavily tied into modules, obviously including shields, and this is when they were bringing it up. That everything's going to be changing. All of these stats are going to be changing. How you're going to interact with them is likely going to change when engineering comes out. So yeah, like whatever changes you see right now, don't put a lot of weight into them is sort of how I feel, except for how it impacts your game right now in terms of like, oh shit, I'm losing all my fights now, whatever.
Yep.
We've talked about it before. It's been years of server meshing was the big thing that we're waiting for. And it feels like right now with a lot of gameplay changes, it's just like we're waiting on engineering, which I also want to mention. One of the other things I talked about with engineering, to go into a second part of that topic, is the big question was asked of like, how many ships need to change for engineering to work?
Yes.
Which has been a big question of like, you have all of these old not backlog ships, but old ships that have been in the game for ages. They have not had a gold pass. They've barely been looked at for almost a decade in some cases. How are they going to work in this new world? And the first thing that surprised me is more than half are like essentially good to go, which I would not have thought that. I would have thought it'd be way, way less.
Well, because they're not doing more than half of them.
Yeah. No. So no, more than half like just work already, if that makes sense. So there are ships they have to mess with, but also a large amount of ships, and they mentioned specifically like single seaters.
Yep.
There will be essentially a loophole to get the system to work. So you will still interact with it, but you're not going to be. But the assumption is you're not going to be interacting with it the same way. You're not going to be going to the component and messing around with it. You'll be doing something else.
Yeah. So I love that, and it's all through the MFDs. That was actually one of my favorite things. Was think for a second, right? And in Weekend Review, I use the Gladius as an example because that is a gold standard ship. The shields are on the top of the ship, guys. How do I get to the top of my ship to repair it if I'm inside a hangar or inside of somewhere where there's gravity, right? It's
in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, exactly. And this enables that to be the level of smooth, I guess, that just, like I don't have to EVA out of my ship to do it. And it's just, it's so much better, right? Yeah. It's so much better. I don't know what lore they'll use or whatever. I don't care. Simplicity sometimes is way better than this overcomplicated shit that they have been serving us for so long. I was smitten to hear that. That was like, you know what? We're not going to we are going to eventually physicalize all the single seater ships. We don't have to. We're going to do it this way. And personally, I hope this sounded placeholder. I hope it's not.
Yeah, like there might be something they learn from it not being placeholder for it to be better gameplay, which sounds like it will be better gameplay.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. I really hope it stays. Well, it all depends on, what the experience in the MFD is like, how easy it is to use, and I'm sure there'll be tons of problems with it, but it just sounds like a significantly better experience. I see tons of people in chat saying repair bots and all this stuff. Whatever it is, I don't care. Who cares? It's just, is the player experience better? And hopefully the answer is yes. Right?
And more importantly, it means they also don't have to spend another 3 years making sure every single one of those have it before they can put engineering in. We always talk a lot about like features that need to be like fully cooked before they're in. This one is such a fundamental change to the game that it kind of needs to be put in ASAP so that everyone can adjust to it. NCRG can see how we use it and change it accordingly.
And adjust to it slowly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it gives me a lot of hope that, engineering still might happen this year, at least in terms of like a tech preview plus a whatever.
Yep. What else? They talked about bespoke weapons that, they don't have a lot of ships that have them. And then people listed off like this year, they've done like a lot of ships with bespoke weapons on them.
Yeah, so they did. My understanding is they've done 2 in a row, and then there's also apparently 2 more coming at CitizenCon with bespoke weapons.
But there's other ones like this year too that have bespoke weapons on them that were listed. I just saw a bunch of people and I was like, oh, got them. Yeah, they did a lot. But their idea behind bespoke weapons is like, yeah, that could be a size 5 weapon, but we can also tune it down to not be too powerful. And it allows them to do that, which is cool. But if you're going to do that, just like make it a size 4 weapon and allow us to choose what it is. Because when you get stuck to ballistics, it's not fun. And I think people get frustrated by that, at least right now.
Yep. Couple of small ones. They've started Gold Standard Aurora. Cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
End of that.
That's huge. I'm super happy about that, actually.
RIP the 890J and the 600i rework and the G12. They explicitly mentioned apparently the G12 has like been on their like 2026 plan like 3 times and then got canned. It just keeps getting pushed out of the way. So RIP G12 fans. And essentially the same for the 600i rework. And then the BMM is just like, guys, we don't know, man. We don't know what the hell we're doing.
They said they hope to start working on it at the end of 2026, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I don't think that'll happen either. And that was sort of the main stuff.
I got one more as well. I got one more. Yep. We held the line. Remember when we said the next thing they do, Flight Blade like, that we need to destroy them?
Yeah.
They didn't give us the opportunity to because they understood where we were coming from. Their wording is stupid. But if you bought the Apollo, and I'm assuming if you buy the Apollo in game whenever that happens, you will get all 6 options of all the mix and match beds that you want. And instead of them selling them individually and trying to nickel and dime you. And I think that is only happening because of the reaction that happened with the Fight Blades. So we held the line.
That's right, yeah. Yep.
Pog, like, great job, everybody. And and great job, CIG, for responding appropriately. You had the option to be totally shameless here, and you were not. And respect.
Mike, imagine releasing a ship with its intended modules. That shit's crazy.
But not its drones. People were really mad about the drones. And I just go, guys, I just did a tech preview and the NPCs were just walking into walls and you want drones to go and do shit for you? You're just going to lose the drones. They're never going to come back. Like, why would you want that?
Yeah.
Did anyone not believe they'd get all modules? Everybody?
Historically,
everyone? What are you
they would
talking
not
about?
have done this. Straight up, historically, they would not have done this. This is very different for them. It is one of those things that, Mike, you say every now and then, like, this needs to be applauded because otherwise they'll, like, come back to other stuff. It is a very baseline thing that they should be doing 100%.
Yeah.
But, like, yes, they did something that is not predatory. Make sure they know that, right? Yeah, let's go.
I'm proud of you.
That's why I said marketing team in absolute shambles. They can't sell. Well, maybe they still can sell the modules individually. That's just not default. But they're not selling them. They can't sell concepts. Damn, crazy.
Yep. There's got to be a catch. That's what Aimless was saying. So we'll see. Gactac Raylan cargo's going way up. Command module talk.
Yes.
I think they're starting to let us down lightly on the command module. It's probably not going to come with the Ironclad. Probably not going to come on the Caterpillar anytime soon. That's what it sounded like to me, at least. Yep. GACTEC railing cargo way up. No PDCs on the Ironclad. It's only for military ships. And another just example of this horrible game's funding model is the only reason it's on non-military ships like the Reclaimer is because they were promised in their initial sales. Who cares if they were promised in the initial sale? Like, I don't get that.
I think we've
balance
talked about this
the game
before.
appropriately.
I imagine the people that are concerned are legal. I am not concerned. Yeah, I think 100% just redo it, whatever, it's fine.
Just make the game.
But I would imagine they're just concerned by legal for probably some reason. There is enough weird people in this community that I 100% believe someone would bring up a literal lawsuit if a ship was slightly worse than they thought it would be.
Yep.
So I it sucks, but I like understand that.
Yeah.
While we just talked about the Apollo, I do want to bring up one other thing, which is so med beds are changing again, it seems.
Yeah, I know what you're going into. People went in the Wayback Machine. That page has not changed very much in recent times.
Yeah. So let's say they do change, right? To basically what they were like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I don't remember when it was. Where it was, like you can't respawn at a tier 3, you can respawn at a tier 2, but you can't heal a tier 1, and then tier 1s do everything, which sure, that's fine. My first thing is always, it makes no sense in the current game to be able to respawn someone but not heal a tier 1, especially right now because we get all our gear back. So it's like, oh, the bed can't do it, but I can backspace and do it. If they do make this change, though, there is a reason why they could be doing it. And it could possibly do with the sneak peek. And it could
let me bring that up. I don't have it up yet. Oh, no.
It could possibly do as well with the Apollo release next year. Next week. Not next week. Next month.
Next month, yeah.
I would not be surprised if we get possibly what this might be sooner rather than later, which is my assumption, and I've heard a couple of people agree with me, but I'll get your take on it, Mike, is that this is your this is your healing apparatus that has however much healing goop you need.
I hope
and you use that up.
I hope it is. That's my cope take, is I hope that this is exactly, because there's clearly things that you put inside of it at the bottom. It looks just like the other cards that we insert. So like they're reusing old tech that we definitely have interacted with. We got lights on that are green. We have lights on that are red. But my realistic take is this is some dog shit resource or Regen Crisis storyline shit.
It could be, right? Like this could just be in the third wing and just be a little thing. I mean, like they look like physicalized cards.
Yes.
That are in the thingy there. That we've had experience now with for like quite a while, right? So whatever it is, it looks interactable. So the question is it going to be interactable in a good way for us in like all this med stuff, or will it just be part of a mission? It is fine to me if it's just part of a mission, but I will feel a little teased.
Yeah.
What was the you know how they always have like a little sentence
to go along with it? I don't know. I can't find it. You'll have to look for it because I'll cover your face then.
Oh, it's the quote is I need to recharge.
Yeah, and it says
I need to recharge.
Okay, and it says recharge, not regen.
Correct.
And this says recharge status.
The colors scream medical to me. I don't know.
Well, yeah, for sure. The doctor's wearing a medical type suit and gloves.
Exactly.
Bro, I hope
if they are changing,
if they get anything from this conversation, like, I hope they recognize that they need to reuse something like this for that. If this isn't that, you need to do that.
Yeah,
and that's it, right?
Yeah,
this could just be something on the Apollo. I mean, guys, ship sales, right?
Yeah, so let's go to you in Twitch chat. That's exactly what I want it to be. Is I want it to be a refillable thing for your med bays, because that would make tier 2 med beds being able to revive but not heal tier 1s make a little bit of sense. Let's say you've got 100 units of med goop, whatever it might be. Like reviving, like fully reviving, could cost that entire goop.
Maybe.
And that kind of makes a lot more sense to me why you would still be able to do that with a tier 2. You know, like you can make that work. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
Where's Brentworth? Yeah. That's a
Brentworth is medical. Yeah, Brentworth
it's Microtech, right?
Yeah, it's Microtech's hospital.
Yeah, Brentworth Care Center.
Go. Yeah, definitely medical.
Yep. So it just comes down to Regen Crisis or us. Regen Crisis or Apollo. Which one you gonna do? I hope it's both. I hope it's both. That would be amazing. There's enough room in all the ships that we regen in, except for the small ones, which is possibly why that change that people are highlighting that may not actually be a change on that page is being referenced. So we'll see. But a very, very interesting sneak peek. Gets the juice, the mind juices flowing of what could be, I think, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Agreed.
I think that was the whole week for me. Holy people in the room.
Yeah, we're full. We're full in the waiting room.
Oh my God, I just looked at it for the first time.
It was almost full when we started. Everyone's keen to talk today.
Okay. I don't know about what, but we'll see.
Well, if you want to call in the future, because we're going to definitely be too full today, but if you want to call in the future, make sure you go to, if you're on YouTube, in the description below, there'll be a little link to the Discord going into green room /join here. If you're on Twitch, on Mike's channel, you can go !Mike podcast and follow the link.
Oh, dude, did you see I posted a SaltEMike TV video. There was a Montreal publication that talked to Benoit and Chris.
Yes.
They renamed Turbulent to CIG Montreal. And
which
they continued to say that Squadron will release in 2026, and they also said 1.0 would release in 2027 or 2028, which is insane. And Chris Roberts
confirmed release date.
Yeah, which is like, this long. And Chris Roberts also said that he thinks Squadron 42 will compete with GTA 6. Delusion much? Like, I just lost my mind. I was like, you have lost the plot.
Nothing is competing. Like, you could say some big AAA games.
Yeah.
You can't say it's competing with probably the biggest release of the decade.
How about this?
That's crazy.
All you have to do is do one thing. You go and look at the views on YouTube of the trailers. And the first trailer of GTA 6 has 250 million views, let's say. It's 200 plus. The trailer for Squadron 42, which was incredible, has 1.2 million views. So whoever thinks
the trailer or the playthrough that they did?
The trailer.
Okay.
I want to compare trailer to trailer.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I don't know what the playthrough has. I actually didn't look. I'm sure Twitch chat will help us with that in a couple minutes. The interest in one game is significantly higher, 200 times higher than the other one.
Yeah.
So you are not competing. And just shut your mouth, please, with that stuff. He is clearly talking to investors and not us, because we're not that delusional.
Look, I think, of course, as long as the game is good, that it has enough major names to draw in a lot of people. But it requires some extra delusion to think you'll be able to compete with GTA 6. GTA 6 would have to be so dog shit and such an absolute fail of a release in order for any game to be able to compete with its release.
Squadron will likely release with some popularity. And if it is a good game, it will spread around. More people will buy it, and they'll make some decent money on it. If it's good.
And people will trickle into Star Citizen.
But they will not be compared. They are not on the same level as GTA. And they never will be. So just give it up.
Oh, I don't know. Have you heard about Squadron Episode 2? I heard it's going to be an absolute banger.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Literally, this is the biggest franchise in gaming history, probably, right? Like,
it is
what are we doing?
Saying It is like saying, I, Croncy, am going to, in 2019, make a movie that is on par release-wise with Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like we're not shitting on you. It's just like
it's delusional.
It's so pie in the sky. It's so crazy.
It's like who is your audience for that comment?
Yeah, yeah.
Other than like, yeah, I don't know. It
also doesn't mean there is. I don't think it's going to be true, but there's a world Squadron is more fun than GTA 6. But that's not the point.
But fun is subjective too, and maybe I may have more fun in Squadron than I might have in GTA. But
yeah, but it's just like Star Citizen doesn't have the enfranchised players that GTA has. It doesn't have the name that GTA has. It does have a lot of really famous people, and that's great for a Netflix series, less for necessarily a video game. It'll be cool. You know what I mean? Like that's not what necessarily drives people.
He can't even use the Wing Commander IP to be able to.
Yeah, because no one knows
old
what it
frogs
is.
like me. So I don't know.
Yeah. Either way, it was a funny interview. I did see that one.
Yep.
But yeah, not actually much to it. Just a lot of.
Guess what? If Mass Effect came out with a game in 2026, it would be more popular than Squadron 42 to the general public.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
So
you know why? Because everyone who's playing Squadron is playing Mass Effect.
Yeah, but also other people who aren't going to play Squadron have played Mass Effect. Yeah. It's just a more popular. Like it's just absolute delusion. So yeah, had to bring that one up. Thank you to whoever in Twitch chat reminded me of that. Just insanity. I'm ready for our first caller though, since we have to get through. So many.
Let's do it,
guys. We're putting you on a timer today for sure.
5 minutes? Want to do 5 minutes?
5 minutes, yeah. Because I have 2 playoff hockey games today, and I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I would love a nap before my game. That would be fantastic. Because I'm going to be 100%. Exhausted. I don't want to have a heart attack.
Right, let's get our first caller in RingoShonen.
Hello, Ringo.
Also, it is boiling in here. I'm just going to open my door.
Hello again.
Hello.
It is I, the medically obsessed player who waited all last week for nothing. But it's cool.
Well, it's luckily there's a lot of medical stuff that we just talked about, so we'll be able to get some of your opinions on it.
Real quick though, to Croncy, I'm going to dedicate a little bit of my time. Botnix is wondering how much Final Fantasy collector packs cost.
In Australia, they're like $200 at the moment. For reference, retail was supposed to be $70.
I have no idea what this is, but I just wanted to ask the question for him.
Just tell them they're way too expensive, and it's the Pokemon scalpers that have ruined it for everyone.
$300.
Yeah, they've gone up since then.
All right. Anyways, medical. Yay. First, I did actually participate in the event. This is the first event. The new ASD facilities.
Activity.
It's not an event. Sorry. It's a sandbox activity. Thank you.
My bad. Pretty cool. A bigger bunker.
Yep.
The combat music is annoying because most combat is I see a guy, I snipe him, ding ding ding. Every 5 seconds.
I'm surprised. I thought most people really liked the combat music in this one because it was fresh. It was new.
When you're in that like one room in engineering where there's like always 7 guys like behind the barricades in that one irradiated spot, like the music gets to play out. But the fact that the music always starts at 0.1 at 0 seconds into the play track and always ends at like wherever its endpoint is.
Sure.
Like I wish it would like pick back up somewhere in the middle of the song instead for variety.
I get you.
But all right, medical. Mike, I'm sorry, you're right. I wanted my ship to come out. You told me you don't want your ship to come out because gameplay's not there for it. It's gonna suck ass. And
can you say the first part again, please?
Mike, I'm sorry, you were right.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was just making sure.
You're welcome.
Get that as a sound.
I just wanted to hear it right.
Play over and over again.
Yep.
Like I'm pretty sure everyone knew there was no fucking drones coming here.
Yeah,
but now they're talking about like, hey, look, we're thinking about it. We just may not even want drones to ever exist.
I want them to exist because I'm tired. I don't want to constantly have to get out and do stuff. And you can ask your drones to move boxes or collect them for you or things like that.
We still don't know how the drones work. Do you just push a button while you're within 5 kilometers of a downed body and just within 15 seconds you just see a loading bar and the player's spawned in your ship now?
I don't know.
Or do you actually have to have a co-pilot manually fly this rubber buggy bumper car thing to the body. While you're in a ship, you have to somehow also have them program an interact thing to interact with the body to abduct it, and then manually fly it back and try and dock it like you would with the snub fighters on Akani. We don't know because they never told us, and they don't know. Oh,
No.
but now we have tractor beams. So now you're just going to have someone stand on the back of your ship with the ramp down. They're just going to tractor beam the body into the ship now. I guess that's what they said. I'm putting words in their mouth, though. But they did mention tractor beams made drones obsolete. If they don't want to do drones, please put something else in the ship.
Yeah, so they are still doing drones. The question is about how they're going to work and if they're going to do all the things that they used to do. Because they're still being used for base building, and they will likely still be used for some other things. But like, yeah, you're not wrong. Like, it's just medical still has a long way to go in order for it to be like deep, I guess. And
Good.
when are they gonna do that? Right? Like, once again, their big feature this year that they're working on is just engineering. So medical doesn't really come into that at all.
Unless
with the
this
exception
thing
possibly,
is, yeah,
with the exception of
something.
possibly this the resource network, right? So yeah.
As for the picture, that device does look a little bit different than the one that they specifically put in the Pisces for some reason. The Pisces does have a
Med Pisces.
2-slot system. Yeah, that one looks like it
Okay.
has 9 slots. Like, I guess it makes sense for the Ursa and Pisces rescue to not have enough room to do stuff, but like the Cutlass Red is very spacious. There's plenty of room to put those things in it. But
Ooh,
you know,
hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out, Ringo.
But it's
Sorry to take a
Drake.
little bit of your time.
No
Hear
problem.
me out. What if those little keys are actually like your respawn, like DNA
Yeah.
thingy, right? So then you have a maximum amount of people that can respawn per like certain thing or something.
Could be that. That makes more sense because it's not like those things are filled with material.
Yeah, it doesn't seem
But
to
they
be. But
could
the,
be
like,
filled
the
with
top bit where there might
information.
be material is
Hold
like
on, let me
cut off.
bring it back up so people can look at it in case they're just popping in.
It's just that I've put a lot of hope and faith, which, there's my first 2 mistakes right there, into the Apollo, being that it's the only medical ship that was made as a medical ship first. It's not just a Cutlass Black with a medical ship in it. It's not a Pisces with a medbed in it. It's not a Galaxy with a medical module. It's not an Endeavor with the Hope module. It's just the Apollo. It's supposed to be designed from the ground up, not just we took out the guns and we put a medbed in.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm hoping this thing does something special that somehow makes it better than non-medical ships, because right now, non-medical ships are better than medical ships.
Yeah, this thing is not in a ship, though. It's in the hospital. So we just have to keep that in mind.
I'm going to put my money down. I think that thing is probably going to be in Wing 3 of the ASD facility, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Could be.
Also, I never had any issues with the ASD facility. Every time I had to return back to Seraphim Station to turn in the card, it always worked. I probably just got lucky. Although it felt like the first dungeon in a like World of Warcraft thing, where it's like you go in there, you explore a little bit. Normally, I'd expect to keep getting quests as I completed each computer. Like, hey, you completed computer 1.
Why
press this button
you
to
make
continue
me
quest 2.
leave?
That I am like that has to be part of the unfinished Wing 3 thing.
The
It
literal
makes no
second
sense
quest,
to have to leave.
The little second quest we go to engineering requires you to jump past the point of no return.
Yeah.
And then use the first computer, and then it tells you to leave. But you can't. You have to go through. Well, I mean, there's the shortcut to the left, or you go right, which takes you the whole way through. But it's your first time in the
No, yeah, I think
I tried to jump back, fell to my death.
Yeah, the first time I went in, I definitely was like, I don't know where the exit is. And then the second time I went in, I looked to the left, and there was literally an elevator, and so I messed that up. But the big problem is that it makes no sense from like a player gameplay perspective to constantly have to leave and then come back to a different version of the exact same location and go a little bit further. It's just it's just weird. That's all. It really should be like a chain that you can take as you go through.
I'll chime in though.
Like,
it's definitely been 5 minutes, just to be clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing then. I know everyone else is trying to farm that Geist armor. I just want the quest items, those ASD drives that you traded for Wicklow.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. You have to drive all the way back to your a home planet's satelliting station to turn it in. You can't just like upload it at the
My spot is
hangar
a checkmate
that they give you. All right. Well, that's it. Give other people time to talk.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Be
Cheers,
good, Ringo. Thanks for your patience from last week.
Nope.
Oh. Sorry. All right. Next caller. Up. PepicWalrus.
Hello.
Hello, Pepic.
Good. So, I just want to say, freight elevators for me since the Tuesday before 4.3 have worked flawlessly. I have consistently been doing...
Let's go.
I have... Every Apple I've gone to has had at least a working elevator. The only issue I've run into is like when the cargo boxes get stuck and like floating and you can't grab them. Some of those will...
So you don't have working elevators and they're not flawless.
I've only run into twice though.
Okay, so they're not flawless.
I don't know, Mike. If you look at the chapters that I'm writing
is what
right
I'm
now,
saying.
It says freight elevators are flawless.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't say freight elevators are flawless. I've flawlessly been able to find a freight elevator because there's been one working at every
I don't think you know what the word flawless means, but I still understand what you're saying.
Are you a Jared?
So I mean,
what?
Continue. I'm sorry. You broke me.
I missed the word.
I was gonna say, does this mean
broken.
you're doing
I've been doing Resource Drive. I've been finishing that up. I had 2 done before 4.3, and then I'm about to finish the last one. But every day I've been able to just do multiple large hauls, like without much issue.
Yeah.
So those have been working. ASD has been really cool, especially what's at the end. I think I know what the mini boss that they're working on is, given that what's at the bottom right now of ASD.
Well, and give us your prediction because it's not a spoiler yet because we haven't seen it.
Well,
So what's your prediction? What do you think it might be?
Because you already mentioned that the blade is at the bottom. What if the mini boss that they're working on is the pilot of that Vanduul blade? Because it's not an Asperia blade; it's a Vanduul blade.
Oh, that'd be cool.
What if they have the original pilot of that Vanduul blade? Because we know, a couple updates ago, the face mesh of a Vanduul was found. So
that would be sick.
That's my prediction of
finally having a Vanduul in Star.
A melee Vanduul fight.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Because they were working on it. Because in the same thing, they mentioned like a secret creature, and people were saying, "Oh, that's probably the mini boss." But I feel like they wouldn't separate those as two if they were the same thing.
Or Pepic, is he trying to turn himself into a Vanduul?
We do know Vanduul do pod bursts. They don't have traditional. So, who knows? I do like these additions, like all these additions, because things like ASD, Hathor, they're the hot stuff for us, but it's more for 1.0, where new people come in and it's got like a whole host of stuff. I'm curious, once the Jorrit stuff ends, because it feels very current, that storyline, what they're going to put there, or if that's going to always be...
It'll probably always be Jorrit. If you really carefully like pay attention to all of that story, the only thing that is like connected to the lore is the regen crisis, right? That is currently ongoing.
That's true.
However, a lot of the stuff that happens at the irradiated Valakar, or the story that you get, is old. It is not like Jorrit is not currently in those systems doing it. It's like you are going through them because Jorrit has been through them to solve the crisis. The crisis could have happened 50 years ago, theoretically. There's no reason that it has to be like... There's no reason in a 1.0 this story doesn't still make sense, is what I'm trying to kind of say. They have not been very like, this is all happening right now. And then with the ASD, where that is a current thing, because the guy that talks to you keeps like theorizing that Jorrit is still in there right now doing stuff, presumably in the third wing. Well, yeah, this guy's run away. He's been doing some bullshit for the last, like even before the regen crisis, he's been doing some like crazy experiments. That's what we're learning, right?
Yeah.
So all of it still works with regardless of time.
There's going to be a main story quest. If I do the main story quest day 1 and I finish it on day 5, and you come in on day 6 and start doing the main story quest, well, I did it already. It doesn't mean that it happened, right?
Yes,
you.
It still makes sense within your experience is like the most important thing.
That's a good point. I'm forgetting that the Region Crisis story isn't tied to limited time events like the A plot was. So,
but I think it is. I think it will go away, and they'll probably just change some voice lines and turn some things around. But
I don't think they need to change voice lines. That's what I'm saying. If you really closely follow it, a lot of it is
be investigating it.
Not eternal. A lot of it's evergreen. A lot of it just works regardless of the time frame.
So, but we're gonna solve it, and again, you don't care. Maybe it's a main story, like it's just you join the game.
I don't think we're going the crisis will end, but like the whole thing with Jarrett is like the crisis could have ended prior to you going to ASD. The way the story is written, the crisis could already be over. It's just talking about how he did do research for the crisis, not that he's necessarily
somebody could always be looking into Jarrett. So that is fair. And then I want whatever Chris is smoking when he was doing that interview.
Crazy. Crazy talk.
With no trailer at Gamescom, it's like, all right, I'm questioning if the 2026 is released. I'm not it's for certain. It'll depend on how CitizenCon goes, but if there is no public marketing outside of CitizenCon started by the Game Awards, that's when I'm going to start to like actually worry. If there's no trailer at the Game Awards, because that's like
which
the
is
only
December,
event.
right?
Yes, December 12th, I think usually. And that's where I'm going to start to like, all right, I don't think they're hitting 2026.
Yeah. All right, we've hit 5 minutes, so very last thing.
The bespoke weapons. I think they tease kits for it.
They definitely tease other swapping weapons.
Yeah. I think they should make it to where those bespoke weapons can be swapped out. Maybe they go down a tier, but those bespoke weapons are only like custom fit for that ship. So you have special weapons for ships, but you can swap them out and maybe they go down like a tier of weapons.
Yeah. We already have it.
Yep. Yes, the Defender has that.
Vanguard.
Yes, that too.
Vanguard knows weapons.
It's like
we have ballistic.
You can have
all different types.
Yes. You can have the special bespoke weapons for that ship, and maybe there's like perks for using those bespoke weapons. But you can swap them out. And those bespoke weapons only work for the ships they're made for.
Yep.
But I will duck out at that.
All right,
as always.
Cheers for the call.
GG.
Have a good one, man.
All right. Next caller. Sharxbyte.
Sharxbyte. How you doing? Sharxbyte.
Going. Okay, there it is.
There you go. How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, good. I understand where Mike and a lot of people are coming as far as like the 600i rework not being done. I guess my biggest salt is that like they shouldn't have mentioned that they were doing a rework 3 years ago. If they weren't even planning on doing anything other than like teasing us with it for years.
See, that's you have a misconception there. It's not necessarily better what I'm about to say, but there is a misconception, which is they weren't attempting to lead people on.
Oh yes,
they probably had the plans to do it, and then it got reprioritized, which is bad.
But they showed it and then immediately sold it like the next week or month later. Like it's a limited, it's a limited sale ship,
and that's all still bad. That is 100% all still bad. I'm just saying, I very much believe they were going to release it. It got reprioritized, and that's also a bad thing.
Yep.
I guess I just don't understand why they decided to reprioritize it so far down. Like, I get that there are plenty of other ships that are also in need of rework and whatever. But the fact that their excuse was, oh, it's a functional ship. Like, I don't know how many people have tried using the 600i lately. They nerfed its turning. Like, yeah, its health pool went up in one of the last patches. But, it's not supposed to be able to dogfight, but it's undergunned compared to anything else. It's a massive target to hit.
It's
they
a personal
reduced
transport.
its shielding. It's not okay. It's personal. It's exploration though. The Explorer is exploration, and
yeah, but what do
all
you
of the
explore?
other exploration, other people's cargo,
screenshots.
Anyway, I feel like that it should at least have its basic functionality, and it doesn't. You can't even carry cargo in it. The cargo grids that it has are essentially useless. So, it takes off most of the time. Sometimes you don't fall through the elevator sidewalls, but
those are bugs that need to be fixed. But the entire rework itself is it's obnoxious to take a ship that you can already fly, walk around and imagine in like the rest of the ships, like, you know, the other ones have the same problems, like the oh my god, the other exploration ship that they talked about in SCL that has horrible cargo to interact with.
Carrick?
Carrick, yeah. That's another one that, you know, everybody wants to get fixed, but it just would not be fair to somebody who bought a ship and doesn't have it at all. It's for me, it's a level of fairness.
The level of priority should still be
on the Carrick. Like they've updated its blast shields. They made the doors and stuff work. The Carrick has more useful cargo than the 600i, and they're close to the same price bracket. It's closer to the Carrick than it is to the Constellation or whatever.
Because it doesn't need a rework.
I will give an excuse for the blast shields and an excuse for the cargo. You guys can decide whether or not they're good enough excuses. The blast shield thing was so that they could do a cool, fun thing at CitizenCon where someone was live designing it, right? It was a cool little thing that you could do and just walk past and see them doing it. The cargo was because it was literally unusable.
Oh yeah, unusable
as a cargo ship, right? So that is like obviously going to be a little bit of a higher priority, and it's also not going to take I assume where Mike was going. It's not going to take the same amount of time as a full rework is going to take, right?
Yeah.
So
I get some of that. I don't see them starting to do any of the bug fixing or whatever on a ship when they're going to go back and do a whole rework on it.
And they won't.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, Let me tell you, I will be in your corner though if they do a Connie rework before they do a 600i rework.
And I agree. The Constellation also needs.
It also needs one, but they already sold you on a 600i.
Yeah. Anyway, on to other stuff. The people who are trying to say that that Squadron 42 is that like everyone who already owns Squadron or everyone who wants to play Squadron already owns it. That's bullshit.
Insane. That's
it's 100% bullshit. Yeah, it's also it hasn't been for sale for like the last almost 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And, like
you know how much Star Citizen has grown in that time? Like, come on.
Yeah. Guys. And then on top of that, you have all of the players who don't do MMOs, let alone all the streamers who don't do MMOs, but who are because streamers are a big in source for like marketing and stuff.
Yeah, things like Co-Carnage, right?
But yeah,
once there's
a single player that comes out, they're gonna be playing it, and it's gonna go off like a lot of other games.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that it has huge potential for sales. I also think that it's completely insane that Chris thinks that it's gonna have a chance of competing.
What a clown.
Yeah.
What he meant to say
I love the guy,
is GTA 6 maybe could compete with Squadron. He meant to say it the other way around. Squadron's much better.
GTA 6 delayed because Squadron announced 2026.
Yeah, they don't want to compete. They don't want to compete.
No, I mean, they would have had to start marketing like 6 months ago and like be putting trailers and pushing out interviews with all of the actors and actresses and stuff to even have a chance of like getting it to that level of marketing or anywhere remotely close.
Yeah.
As far as the Vanduul and the regen thing, I don't know how many people know, but this is from I believe it was Paul Shelley, bartender.
Okay.
He was talking about the Abraham spheres and how the Abraham spheres are derived from Vanduul tech.
Yes.
And so a lot of people don't know that, but
what's an Abraham sphere? Sorry.
That's the thing that
allows us to regen. It's like the cores in Altered Carbon.
Gotcha.
It's the main tech.
So, okay.
Yeah, and then let's see. I still think that the lower tier ships should be able to let us revive. I do think they should be significantly limited in like quantity, like maybe 1 or 2. But the whole idea of them selling the Nursa as this like let you go into battle and revive ship, that whole trailer that they made, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bring up the trailer.
funny.
Let's get.
Yeah, and then like okay, like 6 months later, oh, you can't respawn in this anymore. That's great.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
if what they're implementing is the regen goo, I am more okay once again with the idea that people can respawn in these vehicles, but it is a resource, right? So you have to actually
if they pull here's the thing too. If they pull out the ability to respawn in the Nursa, you could take the PDCs off of everything you sold and said that they were supposed to come with PDCs then too.
Yeah,
those contradict each other.
Yeah. Or, like, I think that PDCs shouldn't attack light fighters or whatever.
Same.
They should
Defensive
be for
only.
defending against ordnance only. Yep. Or unless you put, like, flak on them and they're just, like, generally shooting flak out and it hits everything.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Which also...
I also think the 600i should get PDC. And not just because it's the 600i.
Because you love it. One quick thing, we will have to let you go in a second, but one quick thing while we were talking about it, so I remember, one of the other things they mentioned during the SCL is that there is a new type of PDC coming with a new ship, whatever that means.
Please be flak. That will be so sick.
That would be cool.
Flak would be great.
Yeah, I hope it's not like distortion or something stupid.
Yeah, and I hope with CitizenCon, or at least whatever they said is coming in with the new bespoke weapon editions that they talked about a little bit, that they do put in some energy repeaters and some distortions and whatnot for the Wolf. I really like the ship. I actually haven't flown it since. I think they're supposedly nerfed a little bit of the handling, which it definitely needed. Like, it was more maneuverable than the Fury. Like, literally, I was following it and couldn't even like stay out of its nose in a Fury. It was ridiculous.
All right, we've got to let you go. We've almost given you double the time of some of our other callers.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah,
it's all good. It's all good. Good conversation.
Fun. I sat and waited for a lot of loading, and that was it. I did some sewing while I waited.
There you go. Before you go, all Origin pilots are like BMW drivers and never use their blinkers. Bye bye.
God is ass.
That's literally what Origin pilots remind me of. I don't think he's being this way, just to be clear. They are the they sold you a ship that is luxury only, and you think like they and the people who bought it are typically the type of person who would probably feel like they deserve more than anyone else. So I don't feel bad for any Origin pilot. Hate me, don't care. Don't at me, don't care. All right, SpaceMonkeyBusiness is next.
How are we doing, Space Monkey?
Hey, how are you doing? So,
what do you think of Origin pilots?
Hey, I'm from Germany. I have to defend BMW drivers in some way. I don't know.
American BMW drivers.
Oh my God, no.
I'm only from America. I don't know what European BMW drivers are like.
Fuck Europe. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
American BMW drivers are the worst. Americans in the chat can contest to this. Never use their blinker. I've almost died 300 times. Okay. They're the worst drivers in America, bar none. Mercedes, nowhere near as bad. Also a German company. It's just BMW. I don't know why.
Maybe it's they turned on the automatic autonomous driving for BMW in America. And it's that worse.
The death race. But Chad is saying EU BMW drivers are the same, and South Africa and other. There you go.
Anyway, let's just get into a Ford F-150 and take up 3 lanes on the freeway. Yeah, that's much better.
That's freedom, brother. That's freedom, brother.
Anyway, Star Citizen.
If the 600i gets PDCs, I want it on the character too. Just to be clear. No, just kidding. Yeah. I also wanted to talk about the medical stuff, because I'm curious what, besides changing the medical beds, you would change for medical gameplay. Because for me, it's a fine balance, because
The current
It
balance
is
is
pretty
fine?
easy.
No,
It is a fine balance
it
for the
requires
future.
a fine balance.
Understood.
It
Understood.
requires.
My apologies.
No worries. Because now it's pretty easy, and you still have all the other med pens nobody uses. So I don't know what their plans will be.
The other med pens. Sorry, I was about to say I use med pens all the time. I get what you mean. Yeah.
Not the colors.
No, the other
red.
ones where it's like, head injuries, chest injuries. I was like, I just beam on myself. What do you want with that?
That's because the med gun is so broken. They got to change the med gun.
Yeah, it's very OP.
Yeah.
Because
I want like 3 levels of medical gameplay, right? So like we're playing an FPS, so you need to be able to have some mechanic to just like button press and continue for a little bit type thing, right?
Mhm.
Like
Which we have stabilizing on the med gun, right? Okay.
100%. Stabilizing in the med gun or just hitting yourself
pens.
with a med pen. That like mechanic needs to exist in some reality, I think, for this game to work nicely. The injury system is weird. It's never felt great. And they've modified it a couple of times, but I do like the idea of having a little bit more long-term injuries. That's cool. So like having that be like the second level. The third level, I do want to be able to actively heal those things. So if I am a medic, I want to be able to, in some capacity, be in the field and be able to like fully heal someone's leg at the cost of time, resources, whatever else it might be.
Do you think it should be like tactile, like mining, or like just press a button but have the tool to do it like Tarkov, let's say?
I think there should be some level that is a bit more active.
Okay.
So, like if I'm trying to heal someone's tier 1 thing, I would like there to be like an actual like, literal mid-combat surgery that takes me like 30 seconds or something. I've got to press this button, this button, this button. I've got to do like a weird quick time like we do with mining or whatever. Yep. I think is very interesting. But I still need to have that ability to also go, I just need to stabilize you for 20 seconds to get you onto get you out, right? Those like levels are quite nice.
Yeah, it feels like they're like almost there.
Would you support a system that, looking at crafting and tier systems, like if you heal in a certain way and if you buff that you buff the character in a certain way so that you, I don't know, don't get X amount of damage reduction
Let me introduce you to a cool thing called drugs.
Yeah. Eve does this pretty well.
The sci-fi version is, of course, boosters, right? They exist in almost every sci-fi thing. Yeah, combat stims, like someone's saying in chat. All of those tend to be a thing, and we don't have that in Star Citizen yet. It would be obviously an interesting mechanic. If I'm going into a firefight with Mike, I inject a stim that gives me just like a little bit extra damage resistance, but increases my blood drug level like 50%.
Well, you wouldn't use that against me because I wouldn't hit you. You would. I don't know what you would use, but
not with these things.
Yeah.
You would save. You would save your drugs when fighting me for the next fight.
Fair. But like you can also introduce things like boosters that like maybe make you lighter on your feet, maybe give you a little bit of extra
more stamina,
endurance so you can sprint for longer. That sort of stuff is like like every sci-fi game has done that, and it's been a really interesting mechanic to essentially put into the game spells, because that's what it is. You are essentially casting spells in your RPG. Yep. It's just to make them make sense in the game. So I hope they introduce those at some point. Lore-wise, that exists. Like those things do exist in the lore of like combat stims and all these drugs that can like give you some bonuses and some minuses and whatnot. And it would, I assume, be a part of medical gameplay in some respect, whether it's you're crafting that in your Cuddy Red or you're using the med tools to administer those boosters.
Yep.
Because what I wonder as well is when it comes to the Apollo and the modules, why in the current or maybe on a future iteration would you swap out tier 1 versus tier 3? Because you have more bets, but what is the scenario? The only thing I could think of was if you have medical missions where you need to pick up NPCs and drag them into the bed to stabilize them, to bring them back to the hospital, you might want to use a version where there are more medical beds in the Apollo. Besides that, why would you use tier 3 over tier 2 or 1?
You are 100% right.
We
Current
need to hear
iteration
more.
of medical. Yeah, current implementation of medical is there is no reason. It's every med bed is essentially basically the same, or you can at least abuse it to be the same. So, yeah, there needs to be a difference because otherwise there's no point.
And we should also not forget they mentioned that at the end of the region crisis there will be death of a spaceman in some version or whatever waiting.
You did hint at that a little bit, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They said that. So
good point.
I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah.
I guess my 5 minutes are over. Or?
You of all people were the quickest.
Yeah, because I only had one topic. I mean, the other one would be a longer discussion about selling spaceships. Is still valid, but it's not for today. So
no, we will definitely get on that subject again. I'm sure of it.
No, what are you talking about? Never again.
We will definitely get on that one.
We have 3 years until 1.0 comes out. So
of course, because it will totally be in that time frame. Totally
confirmed release date.
We listed off all of the things that need to be done for 1.0 in order, and given what was done this year, it seems like a tall task.
It felt like zero progress, to be honest.
Yeah. But thank you very much for the call, SpaceMonkey.
All right.
We appreciate it.
Be good.
We'll catch
you. As always, soon. See you next time.
Yes, sir. Cheers, man. Bye now. All right, and our last caller, we got through everybody. I think a few people might have jumped out because it seemed to have gone faster than I expected it. But we got Certified Gumbo.
How you doing, Gumbo?
What's up? The delay always gets me.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, good.
Initially hopping. All right, so I guess two things are the 600i conversation kind of derailed my train of thought, but I do have two things.
This guy drives a BMW, 100%.
I was like, what? So my first thing is the content delivery for this year. Like, I have some concerns for the simple fact that I think you talked about it earlier, and that was
your name up there.
What is this? How does this lead to 1.0? And like, on the one hand, I think it's good because they're proving that they can like create some compelling content. But on the other hand, everything is so broken that it's not been the greatest experience. And two, even if everything were working, we still have so much missing that it doesn't feel like a cohesive, like, narrative content drop. Like, we're getting, it's way too piecemeal. And like, what does all of this mean for 1.0? Because to the point is like, is all of this content carrying over into 1.0, or is this just some like alpha beta content that will help them create the 1.0 content, and everyone will experience like new stories and new stuff once we get to 1.0?
I think these are templates. I think these are templates for 1.0.
The way that I see the specifically like this Hathor and like the Eradicated Valakar, which is also like sort of part of this, is like it's probably going to be in 1.0 in some capacity as like things to do. They'll get a retouch. They'll probably get like an actual gameplay pass of changing some things. But like the ASD facilities in particular, like these are too polished to not be 1.0. The actual locations themselves. So like the content within it may change a little bit. I mean, like we already talked about how like none of like the pipes and stuff are working or anything like that, right? Like there's parts to these that already still have things to come out with them. Yeah, I think they will. Is sort of where I'm at. It's just it'll be a little different.
Yeah, I mean, I would. That's what I would like. I hope that's my hope too. It's like they're more or less like side quest activities, like in 1.0. Like it's not going to be like, oh, here's everyone has to replay these stories to understand what's going on in 1.0. I just hope that they're just activities to do. You know, like
if I launch 1.0 and the only thing I can do that's like cohesive or like a small coherent story is this side quest, Yeah,
it's
it
gonna
suck.
suck.
It'd be terrible.
Yeah, like I enjoyed it because it reminds me of the parts of Destiny that I enjoyed, Destiny 1 when it came out. Like,
Mhm.
but once again, the gameplay aspect of it is where it falls way short. Like, it's just not enough content.
Yeah.
It is interesting. It's like everything that they've done this year narratively has been very interesting, but it's just not reinforced with gameplay.
We also run into this problem, and I love this dude. I think his content's so strong and so good, but it also just is completely ruining things. And there's always going to be one or multiple of these in a video game community, so there's nothing wrong with it. Is we like for Lazarus, let's say, or for ASD and Onyx and stuff like that, there's a guide that comes out before the patch even comes out.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
And like, so if we take this and look at it from a 1.0 perspective, you gotta hope we're not going to PTUs after 1.0. You got, like, we better not be, right?
There will be, because they're always test
do
universes, just not in the way that it is currently, is what we want.
Yeah, where you're not getting all the story, like you're not having everything figured out before it actually goes live, and then us as a community figure it out, and then Mr. Kraken can go and make the best map and guide of any community I've ever seen ever. This guy's amazing, but
yeah,
like it's done before the patch even comes out, and like sometimes it ends up being wrong because it's like there's a bug or there's an issue or there's something that changed last minute, and it's like we're just not there yet. But it looks to me like we could be, because they're like proving out that we could release content every month. It's shit, kind of, but it's also not. So like if the game proves out more, we have crafting, we have base building, we have like more stuff for them to pull from for content, then all of a sudden it's like the stories that they want to tell in the Star Citizen universe post 1.0. Well, my hope is we're mostly doing sandbox stuff. You're going mining, you're going salvaging, you're killing NPCs, you're PvPing, you're doing instance content down in the sewers of ArcCorp and getting stuff like that and doing what you enjoy. And then you occasionally come out of the thing that you do every day and take part in the story that's going on in that world if you so choose, right? And so like when everybody worries about 1.0, you should be way more worried about the fact that there's very little sandboxy content and tools for us to use in that aspect, trading with each other, org tools and things like that are missing. Those are way more important for 1.0 than this shit. And the main story quest doesn't have to exist on 1.0. They want it to, and I hope they bring it, but it doesn't have to necessarily be there to be a decently fun MMO, sandbox MMO or whatever.
Just quickly with what you were saying about, like, you know, there's always a big like a guide or whatever that comes out right away. One of the things I really like about like other MMOs, like World of Warcraft, for example, is like they still need to do their tests for like big boss fights and stuff if they've got some unique mechanic or whatever. But they'll do a lot of stuff, like they'll use a bunch of placeholders. Instead of the big cutscene, there'll be just a line that says, "And Bill told you to go forwards," right? Like they'll hide a lot of that until release. We have never really gotten that, with the exception of like sneaky ship launches. So there's never been like a sneaky content launch as much that's done that, where it's like been hidden a little bit in PTU.
Which also needs to stop, because the wolf broke the whole game when it came out. It's like you're just trying to hide it from the leaks Discord at this point. Like, who cares, dude? Just put it in the patch.
Yeah. That should have been an Evo testing way when the patch dropped. If it was ready,
or early PTU, it doesn't matter. Just put it in the patch.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and then sell it a couple days later.
Evo for like, it was only an Evo for like 15 hours. So
yeah,
but my last point was medical. Just to touch on that, I do think that there might be a change coming, but it's not going to be player facing, because in the tech preview they did mention the AI medical behavior, which basically just gives the AI the down states and tiers injuries like what we have, which could allow them to have like NPC revive missions where you can go to a location and it says like, hey, revive these 5 NPCs, and you hit them with the med gun. Does that make the Apollo valid? No, but at least there's some other medical related gameplay.
I think even there,
to like RP hard in a Pisces or an Apollo or whatever.
I think even there, you're taking it like more than it needs to be. The important thing is that if it works, if they are like reviving each other in combat, it just makes combat a lot more interesting, and that at the bare minimum is good. That makes a lot of fights a lot more interesting. Imagine we go back to Siege of Orison, if ever, which I don't think we will, but if ever we went back to Siege of Orison, and as the waves are coming in, you've actually got to make sure that you are proper downing everyone as you're crawling through the waves. That's just a thing that we've never had to worry about, and our gameplay has never really had to worry about that. There's then a lot of really cool things they can do with level design because of that. So like it sort of shoots off and ends up being a lot of cool things for what theoretically should be a very simple change. I'm sure programming wise not a simple change, but gameplay wise a simple change.
No, there's too many variables for that to be like a. Because I was thinking about, I'm like, oh yeah, they could. Maybe you could like drag an NPC on the bunkers, but then I'm like, no, because what's going to stop somebody from just dragging down NPCs onto their ship and taking off that are supposed to be part of the mission? Like
nothing. That's the sandbox.
Yeah, like
I get to have
reviving.
I get to have 30 NPCs on my caterpillar.
Yeah, reviving the down NPC is easier. Like I don't know. I think they could do something that simple if that change comes in sometime before the year's out. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. And I drive a Honda Civic, by the way, not a BMW.
Nice. I've always driven Hondas, Accords or Civics. Those were my only cars I've ever had.
You can't kill them. Like that's why it's hard to switch.
Yeah,
like Toyotas and Hondas, like they just can't die.
The only reason I got rid of them was because somebody else hit them while I was standing still, literally every time.
Sure, Mike. We all believe you. Well, thank you, Certified Gumbo.
True.
Appreciate the call in. Hopefully we'll hear from you again soon.
Yep. Be good.
Take it easy.
Bye, Gumbo.
Cheers, mate.
It's literally true though. I was in high school standing at a light, just got smashed by a guy not paying attention, and another time had to brake pretty hard on a highway. It was a little slick. Got slammed in the back both times. Totaled my car. Not fun.
Well, Mike, I've never been in a car accident, so
I hope you never are.
And guess what I drive? Not a BMW, don't worry. Anyway.
I hope you never are. It sucks.
But yeah, I think that's about it, right? There's not much else to say. There's no more as far as I'm aware, any video content for the next 2 weeks. At least no SCLs.
No, that was hilarious too, because he teased the whole thing with Benoit. And then now 2 weeks taking another vacation. They talked a lot about, we got this whole thing set up for CitizenCon. It's okay. It better be really fancy, but it doesn't need to be. They're always trying to like go over the top on the production side, and I'll never get it because I don't particularly need it. But hey, Squadron demo, super strong, highly produced. A lot of people watched it, and same with the Star Engine demo. So
maybe it works out okay.
Yeah, good. But I didn't need it to be that fancy. But I guess that's where we'll leave it. So hit the like button if you guys are watching on YouTube. Hit our follow us. Both myself and Croncy on Twitch, as we are multi-streaming right now. And if you're catching on YouTube later, hit the subscribe button. That'd be sweet if we get to 10,000 by the end of the year. Probably won't happen, but we would appreciate it if you tried to help us get there. And that's where we'll leave it. So I got my phone. So don't forget, everybody. You gotta say it.
Answer the call.
Because you haven't been here. You gotta say it.
You shut up.